Practice 11-2, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So when you multiply fractions, you just want to multiply straight across the top and straight across the bottom. But before you multiply and have to simplify, it helps to simplify first because you're dealing with smaller numbers. So this 6 we can rewrite as 3 times 2. This 15 we can rewrite as 3 times 5. And this 9 we can rewrite as 3 times 3. And then we can cancel out like terms on top and bottom. For example, we have a 3 and a 3 on the top, and we also have a 5 and a 5. So now what we have is just a 2 on the top, so we're going to say 2 over, and then we have 3 times 3, which is 9. So we have a 9 on the bottom. So this is going to be our answer for number 1. Now when we divide fractions, what we want to do is change the division sign to a multiplication sign and find the reciprocal of the second fraction, which means that we're flipping it over. So we're going to have 2 over 9 times 3 over 10. Okay, and once again, we can find similar factors to cancel out on the top and bottom. So this 9 is actually 3 times 3, and this 10 can be simplified to 2 times 5. So we have a 2 on the top and a 2 on the bottom, and a 3 on the top and a 3 on the bottom. So once everything is canceled out on top, what we're left with is just 1. So when we find our answer, we're going to do 1 over 3 times 5, which is 15. So our answer is, actually this is negative, so this is going to be negative 1 over 15. So number 7, we have 9 over 15x times 25x over 27. So we can find like factors for all of these. So 9 we can rewrite as 3 times 3. 15x we can rewrite as 3 times 5 times x. 25x we can simplify as 5 times 5 times x. And 27 we can simplify as 3 times 3 times 3. So now we want to cancel out like terms. So on the top we have a 3, and on the bottom we have a 3. On the top, this 3 can cancel out this 3, this 5 can cancel out this 5, and this x can cancel out this x. So what we have left is 5 on the top and 3 times 3 on the bottom. So our answer is going to be 5 over 9. Now we have 4r to the third over 10 times 25 over 16r squared. So this 4r we can simplify to 4 times r times r times r, not simplify, factor. This 25 can be 5 times 5 over this 10 we can factor to 2 times 5, and this 16 we can factor to 4 times 4 times r because this is 16r squared. So now we can cancel out like terms. So this 5 and this 5 cancel out. This 4 and this 4 cancel out, and these two r's cancel out these two r's. So now on the top we have an r and a 5, and 5 times r is 5r over this 2 and this 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. So our answer is 5r over 8. So 24r to the third over 35r squared divided by, which means we're going to want to change this to a multiplication sign and flip this over. So we are going to flip it to 14r to the third over 12r, and this side, this first fraction, stays the same. Now we want to factor these so we can cancel out like terms. So 24 we can simplify to, or factor to 2 times 12 times r times r times r. 35r squared can be 7 times 5 times r times r times 7 times 2 times r times r times r over 12 times r. So this 12 and this 12 cancel out. These two r's cancel out these two r's. This r cancels out this r, and this 7 cancels out this 7. So on the top we have this 2, this r, and this 2, and these two r's. So 2 times 2 is 4, and r times r times r is r to the third. Over, we have this 5, and that's the only thing we have on the bottom. So we have 4r to the third over 5, and this is our final answer. Now we have 2b over 5 times 10 over b squared. So this 10 can be factored to 5 times 2, and b squared is the same as b times b. So what that means is we have this 5 on the top and this 5 on the bottom, and this b on the top and this b on the bottom. So we can only cancel that out if there's one on top and one on bottom. If they're both on top, we can't cancel it out. So instead, we're going to multiply them. So we're going to multiply this 2 times this 2, which is 4, and what we have left on the bottom here is just this b. So our answer is 4 over b. So once again, we have a division sign, so we're going to want to flip this fraction over. So we're going to rewrite this first fraction, 4p plus 16 over 5p times 15p to the third over p plus 4. Now we want to simplify. So let's start with this first numerator. Since this is a binomial with a plus sign, we want to factor out the greatest common factor. So we are going to factor out a 4, and what we're left with is p plus 4 over 5 times p times 5 times 3 times p times p times p, which is 15p to the third, times p plus 4. So remember, we can't cancel out this p and this p, or this p and this p, because this has a plus sign in it. But since this is p plus 4 and this is p plus 4, what that means is we can cancel these two out. Now we can cancel out this 5 and this 5 and this p and this p. So when we have nothing on the bottom, that just disappears. And what we have is this 4 times this 3 times these two p's. So that is 12p squared, and this is our answer. Now we have n squared minus 1, which is the difference of two squares. So what that means is we can make two parentheses, and in the first spot we're going to put the square root of the first number, which is n, plus or minus the square root of the second number, which is just 1, okay? Times, and we're going to do the same thing to n squared minus 4. We have n plus 2 and n minus 2 over n plus 2 times n plus 1. So now, since we have this n plus 2 and this n plus 2, we can cancel this out. We have this n plus 1 and this n plus 1, and we can cancel these out. So what we're left with is n minus 1 times n minus 2. And we can either leave it in factored form or FOIL and simplify it. So that would be n squared minus 3n plus 2. So we have x squared minus 16 over x minus 4 divided by 3x plus 12 over x. So once again, we have the difference of two squares right here. So we're going to say x plus 4, x minus 4 over x minus 4. And instead of divided by, we're going to say times, and then we're going to flip this fraction over. So we have x over 3x plus 12, but if we want to factor that, we can factor out the 3 and say x plus 4. So now we want to cancel out like terms. We can cancel out this x minus 4 and this x minus 4. we can cancel out this x plus 4 and this x plus 4. So what we're left with is just x over 3. So our final answer is going to be x over 3. And that is it for multiplying and dividing rational expressions.